Hello, you're welcome. This is mathematics revolution. Is a special mathematics channel. Today we are looking at a fresh topic, SURD. As you can see, as I SURD are irrational numbers which are roots of rational numbers. They are irrational numbers which are roots of a rational number. A good example of SURD is root 2, root 11, 3 root 10, 3 root 30, etc. They are much. They are much. Now we are going to look at the rules of SURD. Rules of SURD. 1. We have root A times root B is equals to root A times B, which is root AB. In the same way, 2, we have root A divided by root B is the same thing as root A over root B. Or you say root A over root B. So this is the law that governs what? SURD. But there are some things I want you to know. Note that root A plus root B is not equals to root A plus B. Take note of that. And also, your root A minus root B is not also equal to root A minus B. So take note of that. It's very important. Take note of that. It's very important. Now we are going to be taking some exercise. So we are looking at the following example. We are asked to simplify the following. Solution. Number 1, you have root 50. This is the same thing as. Now, the logic behind here is just look for 2 number or 3 number you multiply such that one of them have a square root. So we know that 50 is 25 times 2, and 25 has a square root of what? Of 5. So 2 has no square root, so our final answer is 5 root 2. Number 2, you have root 72. 72 is root 36 times 2. The square root of 36 is 6. So that's 6 root 2. 800 by 3, we have root 800. 800 is the same thing as the square root of 400 times 2. 400 times 2. The square root of 400 is 20 root 2. So take note of what I'm doing here. I just get a number that has a square root. I simplify the number such that one of them will have a square root and the other will be what? In the SURD form. So I have 5 root 512. 512. If you simplify this This is the same thing as root 64 times 8, which you can also simplify further to have 64 times 4 times 2. 64 has the square root of 8, 4 has the square root of 2, then you are left with root 2. So you have 8 times 2 is equals to 16 root 2. So that is the final answer. The final answer. We have root 363. This is simple. This is 121 times 3. 121, the square root is what? 11. That's 11 root 3. So check through. Check through. What I just did is to look for a number, simplify the number. Some cases you can even use the square root method or the prime factor method to also solve it. If you cannot simplify it easily, just use the prime factor method to solve it. You will get the same answer. Addition and subtraction of SURD. We have to simplify the following. Solution. Solution. A is root 5 plus root 5 plus root 5. This is equals to root 5. This is 1 root 5 plus 1 plus 1. So that will be equals to 3 root 5. 1 is standing. When the coefficient of a number is 1, you don't indicate it. So you just leave it as root 5, root 5, root 5. Then 2, we have root 125 plus root 20 plus root 45. 125 is root. This is equals to root 25 times 5. 25 times 5 will give you 125 plus root 4 times 5. That will give you 20. Then plus root 9 times 5. If you simplify this, the square root of 25 is 5. So this will be equals to 5 root 5. The square root of 4 is 2 plus 2 root 5. And the square root of 9 is 3 plus 3 root 5. So add everything together. 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 3. Final answer will be 10 root 5. So it's very simple. Just simplify. 125 is 25 times 5. 20 is 4 times 5. And 45 is 9 times 5. 25 have the square root of 5. 4 have the square root of 2. And 9 have the square root of 3. So if you sum everything together, it will give you 10 root 5. 10 root 5. So C, you have root 128 plus root 50 minus root 18. Minus root 18. 128 is 64 times 2. 64 times 2 plus 50 is 25 times 2. 25 times 2 minus 18 is root 9 times 2. The square root of 64 is 8, root 2, plus the square root of 25 is 5, root 2, minus 3 root 2. So if you simplify this, you will have 8 plus 5 is 13. So you have 13 root 2 minus 3 root 2, and that will be equals to 10 root 2, which is the final answer. So when you look at it very well, you have your what? 128 is 64 times 2, 50 is 25 times 2, and 18 is 9 times 2. Square root of 64 is 8 times root 2. 25, the square root is 5 times root 2. And the square root of 9 is 3 times root 2. So you add 13 minus 3 to give you 10 root 2. Simplify 2 root 63. Let's quickly look at the solution. The first one is 2 root 63 minus 4 root 28 plus 5 root 112. This is the same thing as 2 root 63 is 9 times 7 minus 4 root 4 times 7 plus 5 root 16 times 7. 16 times 7. So this will be the same thing. The square root of 9 is 3 root 7 minus 4. The square root of 4 is 2 root 7. The square root of 16 is 5, is 4. So you have 5 times 4 root 7. So here will be equals to 6, 2 times 3 is 6, minus 8 root 7 plus 20 root 7. So this will be the same thing. Positive, add positive together. That will be 26 root 7 minus 8 root 7. 26 minus 8, that will be equals to 18 root 7. So look at it very well. 63 is 9 times 7. 28 is 4 times 7. And 112 is 16 times 7. 16 times 7. So the square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 4 is 2. And the square root of 16 is 4. If you simplify, your final answer will be what? 18 root 7. Number 2, 3 root 48 plus root 192 plus 3 root 12 minus root 147. This is the same thing as 3 root 16 times 3. 48 is 16 times 3. Plus 64 times 3, that will give us 192 plus 3 root 4 times 3, then minus 147 is 49 times 3. So if we solve this, we simplify further, we have the square root of 16 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Root 3 plus square root of 64 is 8. Root 3 plus square root of 4 is 2 times this is 6. Root 3. And the square root of 49 is what? Minus 7 root 3. So if we add all the positive together, here will be 20, here will be 26. So I have 26 root 3 minus 7 root 3. So what do we do? 26 minus this is equals to 19 root 3. So what we have here is 48 is 16 times 3. 192 is 64 times 3. Or 3 root 12. Here you have 4 times what? 3. And 147 is 49 times 3. So if you simplify, the square root of this times this is 12. Square root of 64 is 8. Square root of 4 is 2 times 2 times 3 is 6 minus the square root of 49 is 7. And if you carry out the operation, you have 19 over 3. This is the same thing as root 400 times 2 plus root 100 times 2 minus 4 root 16 times 2. So we know this will be equals to 20 root 2 plus 10 root 2 minus 4 times 4 is 16. 16 root 2. So here will be equals to 30 root 2 minus 16 root 2. And that will be equals to 14 root 2. Equals to 14 root 2. So just follow it closely. It is very easy. We've already solved this before to be equals to 20 root 2. And 200 is 100 times 2. Square root of 100 is 10. 16, the square root of 16 is 4. 4 times 4 is what? 16. This plus this is 30 minus 16 is what? 14 root 2. So we look at further examples under multiplication of SURD. Multiplication of SURD. Example, you are asked to simplify root 27 times root 75. You have root 20 times root 125 times root 45. We have 2 root 5 squared. We have 162 root 162 times root 2 raised to the power of 3. So the first one, solution. 1, we have root 27 times root 75. This is the same as root 9 times 3 will give you 27 times root 75 is 25 times 3. This is the same thing as the square root of 9 is 3 times root 3 times the square root of 25 is 5 root 3. So what we have here, this is the same thing as 3 times 5 times root 9. Root 3 times root 3 is root 9. And that will be the same thing as 15 times root 9 is what? 3, which is equals to 45. So final answer is 45. Then number 2, we have root 20 times root 125 times root 45. Just simplify. Remember, check for the one that will have a square root. Here, we use 4 times 5 times root 125 is 25 times 5 times root 45 is root 9 times 5. So, the square root of 4 is 2. So you have 2 root 5 times square root of the 5 is 5. So you have 5 root 5. And the square root of 9 is what? 3. You have what? 3 root 5. So this will be equals to 2 times 5 times 3, all the whole numbers, multiply those one. Then you know that root 5 times root 5, that will be root 25 times root 5. So we know that the square root of 25 is 5. So you have 5 times, let me just break it down here. 2 times this is 10 times 3, that is 30 times 5 times root 5. And that will be equals to 150 root 5. So our final answer is 150 root 5. 150 root 5. 150 root 5. Just look at it to simplify it down. Here is 4 times 5. Here is 25 times 5. And here is 9 times 5. So what we did here was to multiply all the one under root. And this times this is 25. So root 25 will give us 5. Then 30, which is 2 times 10 times 3. 2 times 5 times 3 give us 30. Times 5 is 150. So our final answer is equals to 150 root 5. So we have 3. This is 2 root 5 square. 2 root 5 square is 2 root 5 times 2 root 5. That will be equals to 2 times 2 times, this times this is what? 5 times 5 is 25. That will be equals to 4. The square root of 25 is 5. That will be equals to 20. Then we have 4. We have root 162 times root 2 raised to the power of 3. 162 is 81 times 2. So we have root 81 times 2 times root 2 times root 2 times root 2. So what do we have? Here is equals to 9. The square root of 81 is 9. Root 2 times root 8. Root 2 times root 2 again. Root 2 times root 8 will give you root 16. The square root of 16 is 4. So our final answer is 9 times 4, which is 36. So the best way to solve questions like this is for you to take them step by step. Take them step by step. Don't try to miss any step. It will help you to understand it. Look at what I did here. Raised to the power of 3 means root 2 times root 2 times root 2. I also explained that 162 is 81 times 2. 2 times 1 is this, is 2. 2 times 8 is 16. So the square root of 81 is 9. Root 2. Root 2 times root 2 times 2 is what? Root 8. 2 times 8 is 16. Square root of 16 is what? 4. So 4 times 9 is what? 36. Now, simplify 1. Root 2 into bracket. Root 18 plus root 32. Let's solve them one by one. Solution. The first one is root 2 into bracket root 18 plus root 32. This will be equals to root 2 into bracket root 18 is root 9 times 2 plus root 32 is root 16 times 2 bracket close. So this is the same thing as root 2. Square root of this is 9. 3 root 2. The square root of 16 is 4. 4 root 2. So if I use root 2 to open this bracket, I'll get 3 root 2 times root 2 plus 4 root 2 times root 2. So this is the same thing as root 2 times root 2 is 2. 3 times 2 plus, remember root 2 times root 2 is root 4, and the square root of 4 is what? 2. Plus 4 times what? Times 2. So this is the same thing as, bring it down here, 6 plus 8, which is equals to 14. Look at it very well. 18 is 9 times 2, which is 3 root 2. 16, 32 is 16 times 2, which is 4 root 2. So if you open up the bracket, root 2 times root 2 will give you what? 2. So your final answer will be equals to 14. We have 3 root 2 minus 4 bracket 4 root 2 plus 4. Now this is the same thing as 3 times 4 is 12. Use 3 to multiply 4. That will be 12 times root 4. Let me write it like this. Root 2 times root 2 is root 4. Then use this 3 root 2 to multiply 4. You now have 3 times 4 is 12 times root 2. So you have plus 12 root 2. Then you come down to this 4. Minus 4 times 4 root 2. That will give you minus 16 root 2. Then minus 4 times 4 will give you minus 16. So if you solve this, you have 12 times 2. Square root of 4 is 2. So 12 times 2, let us put it together. 12 times this, 12 times 2 for simplicity, plus 12 root 2 minus 16 root 2 minus 16. This is 24 minus 16 plus 12 root 2. I'm trying to collect like 10 here. Bring these two closer. minus 16 root 2. So if you subtract this, 24 minus 16 is 8. Then you have 12 minus 16, you have minus 4 root 2. So look at it very well. Use this to multiply this. Use this to multiply this. If you use this to multiply this, you will have 3 times 4 is 12. Root 2 times root 2 is root 4. Then this 3 root 2 times 4 will give you 12 root 2. Use minus 4 to multiply this. You have your minus 16 root 2. And minus 4 times plus 4 will give you minus 16. So square root of this is 2. Square root of 4 is 2. So I have 2 times this is 24. Bring your 16. That will be 24 minus 16 plus 12 root 2 minus 3 root 2. And if you simplify, you have 8 minus 4 root 2. You have root 32 plus root 72 bracket root 20 plus 5. So this is the same thing as root 32 is root 16 times 2. You have root 72 is root 36 times 2. Bracket close. Root 20 is root 4 times 5 plus 5. So this will give me square root of 16 is 4, so I have 4 root 2 plus square root of 72 is square root of 36 is 6 root 2, bracket close, bracket. What do we have here? We have 2 root 5 plus 5. So since these roots are okay, these 2 roots, they are okay. You have 4 plus 6 will give you what? 10. So I have 10 root 2 into bracket 2 root 5 plus 5. So if we open this bracket, we'll have 10 times 2, 10 times 2 times root 2 times root 5 plus, use this one to multiply, 10 times 5 times root 2. So if we simplify this, we'll have 10 times 2 is 20. It's 20. Root 2 times root 5 is root 10. So I have 20 root 10 plus 10 times 5 is 50. 50 root 2. 50 root 2. So look through. First of all, I simplify by 32 and 72, and we arrive at 4 root 2 plus 6 root 2. If you add the 2 together, give you 10 root 2. So 10 root 2 times this will give you 20 root 10, and 10 root 2 times this will give you what? 50 root 2. Given the SURD A over root B, we rationalize by A times root B over root B times root B. That means we use the SURD denominator to multiply the numerator and use it to multiply itself. So this will be A root B over B. So this is how to rationalize a SURD. Use the SURD denominator to multiply the numerator. SURD denominator to multiply the numerator. Let's take example on rationalization. Simplify 1. Well, we have 3 over root 3. That will be 3 times root 3 over root 3 times root 3. So that will be 3 root 3 over 3. Because root 3 times root 3 is 3. So our final answer is what? Root 3. Because 3 will cancel out 3. Then 2. We have 8 over root 32. 8 over root 32. This is the same thing as 8 times root 32 over root 32 times root 32. This is the same thing as 8 times 16 times 2 over 32. 8 can divide. Here you have 4. So you have 4 root 2 over 4. You have 8 divide 8 is 1. 8 divide 32 is 4. So our final answer, 4 will divide 4. And our final answer will be equals to root 2. 3, you have 15 root 8 over root 5. So we have 15 root 8 times root 5 over root 5 times root 5. So this is the same thing as, this is equals to 15 root 4 times 2. 8 is 4 times 2 times root 5 over 5. So the square root of 4 is 2. So you have 15 times 2 root 2 times root 5 over 5. So 5 can cancel. 5 can cancel 15. So this will give you 3 times 2 root 2 times root 5. 3 times 2 is 6. Root 5 times this is what? Root 10. So our final answer is what? Root 10. Just follow the procedure. Take it step by step. And you arrive. We have 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 over 4 root 2. This is the same thing. It's already SURD we are rationalizing, don't forget. Do the same thing as root 2 times 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 over 4 times root 2 times root 2. Use the SURD denominator to multiply up. That's all you need to do. So this will be the same thing as this times this. Just follow me closely. This times this is root 4. Root 4 is 2. So you have 3 times 2 plus, what do we have here? This times this will be what? 2 times 3, that will be 2 root 6. This is over Root 2 times root 2 is what? Is 2 times 4 is 8. So we have this equals to 6 plus 2 root 6 over 8. I can reduce it to, if I divide through by 2, I will have 2 here is 3, 2 here will be plus 6 plus root 6 plus root 6 over what? 4. So my final answer is what? 3 plus root 6 over what? Over 4. Look at it. I rationalize by multiplying the denominator, the SURD denominator. Take note. Then I use the SURD denominator to multiply what? The numerator. And this times this will give you 4. Square root of 4 is 2 times 3, which is 6. Then root 2 times root 3 will give you root 6. And if you simplify further, you have 3 plus 1, root 6. Simplify. 1, 7 over root 2, bracket, root 32, plus 6 over root 2. This is the same thing as, let's solve the bracket first. This will be the same thing as 7 over root 2 into bracket, root 32 is 16 times 2 plus 6 root 2 over 2. I want to believe you know what we did there. We rationalize this. That will be root 2 times root 2, then 6 times root 2. So this will give me 7 over root 2 into bracket. What do we have here? Here is 4 root 2 plus 6 root 2 over 2. So if you find the LCM, I have 7 over root 2 into bracket. The LCM will be 2. So this is over 1. 1 divide 2 will give you 1. So you have 4 root 2 plus 2 divide 2 will give you 1 times 6. That will be 6 root 2. So finally, we have 7 over root 2 times, you have 4 plus this is what? I'm sorry. Here is 8. Here is 8. Because 1 divide 2 gives 2 times 4 is what? 8. So here we have 14 over what? 14 root 2 over 2. And if we simplify this very well, you have these 2 we cancel 14. So if we cancel, we have 7. Root 2 we cancel root 2. So we have 7 times 7, and that will be equals to 49. Let's just go through it again. First of all, we solve the bracket. 32 is 16 times 2, which is the same thing as 4 root 2. Then we rationalize this. Now as root 2 times 6, root 2 times root 2 is 2. So we have 6 root 2 over what? Over 2. Find the LCM. Make this one a single fraction. The LCM is 2. 2 divided by 1 is 2. Times 4 is 8. Then you have 2 divided by 2 is 1 times 6 is what? 6. So add these 2 together to have your 14. Remember, bracket represent times. Root 2 we cancel root 2. 2 we cancel this to give you 7. Our final answer is 49. you have root 48 minus 9 over root 3 plus root 75. To simplify this, you have root 16 times 3, 48 is 16 times 3, minus 9 root 3 over 3. Use root 3 to multiply 9. Root 3 times root 3 will give you what? 3. Plus root 25 times 3 give us 75. So this will be the same thing as 16. The square root of 16 is 4. 4 root 3 minus 9 root 3 over 3 plus square root of 25 is 5 root 3. So if I make it a single fraction, I'll find the LCM. LCM here is 3. LCM is 3. Here is over 1. Here is over 1. So 3 divided by 1 is 3 times this. So you have 12 root 3 plus. This divide here will give you minus 9 root 3. Let me explain that very well. 3 divided by 3 is 1 times this will give you minus 9 root 3. Then you have 1 divided here, give you 3 times 5. That's plus 15 root 3. So what we have here is equals to, we have 12 plus 15. The positive should go together. 12 plus 15 is 27 root 3 minus 9 root 3 over 3. So if I subtract 9 from 27, I'll be left with 18 root 3 over 3. If 3 divide 18, that will give me 6 root 3. So my final answer is 6 root 3. 6 root 3. 3. This is 3. We have 1 over root 3 plus root 3 over 3 minus 1 over root 27. This is the same thing as root 3 over 3. Why is it so? You rationalize. So you have 1 times root 3 over root 3 times root 3, which is the same thing as this, plus root 3 over 3 minus root 27 over 27. Rationalize this. Root 27 over 7 is the same thing as this plus this will give you 2 root 3 over 3. This is 1, this is 1. Add the 2 together. Minus root 9 times 3 over 27, which is 2 root 3 over 3 minus 3 root 3 over 27. So if we find the LCM, LCM is 27. LCM is 27. 3 divided by 27 is what? 9. 27 divided by 3 is 9. Times 2, that will give you 18 root 3. 27 divide will give you 27 minus 3 root 3. So here we have 18 minus 3 is 15 root 3 over 27. What can go? We simplify with 3. 3 divided 15 is 5 root 3. 3 divided is what? 9. So our final answer is what? 5 root 3 over 9. 5 root 3 over 9. The SURD root A plus root B has its conjugate to be root A minus root B, because their product is rational. The product